Icekraks here. So today is Tune Tuesday, and the car of choice is a Ferrari 458 Italia, which was featured in Ryan Tuerck'd's Tuerck'd episode. I think I mentioned it last when I did the 430. So sort of continuation on last week's video where I'm doing Ferraris. So I'm like, screw it, I'll do the 458 as well because I've been messing around with it and it feels sort of similar. So we're actually going to go do the 458 as well. And well, in the video, as I'm going to link in the description below, the 458 is actually slightly modified, and it actually uses body kit elements, which is something I rarely do in Forza, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's start off with the upgrades first of all. So for aesthetics purposes, I'm going to throw the body kit on and the spoiler on. The guy that owns the car, actually, funny enough, it has the motor naturally aspirated, has done nothing to the motor, but I'm going to do something to the motor because, well, just play around with it. Rims, I tried to get as close as possible to what the guy had. They had two-piece rims, so I went with S104 HRE rims. They're two-piece rims. They looked sort of similar to what the guy has, but not exactly. Got really close, but can't do much about it. Forza doesn't exactly have cool customization. And also, I think Ferrari in Horizon 3 will have rocket bunny kits and stuff. No, Liberty Walk body kits, I said. So we'll see how that goes. I might do this again in Forza Horizon 3, but with extra stuff. So yeah, anyway, that aside, tires I'm going to leave stock because they're already running street tires. Sport tires are a bit too grippy, and race tires are definitely too grippy, and drag tires are just terrible for drifting. So yeah, tire width I didn't really adjust, I just changed the rims, that's all I did. Drivetrain, we're going to throw the clutch in, racing clutch. This has already got sports everything, so just except the transmission. I'm going to throw a racing transmission in, get a driveline, just basically racing everything, frankly. Except I think weight reduction is the only thing that didn't do racing. Racing springs, so I can adjust everything. Racing anti-roll bars, same again, so I can adjust everything, even though everything's sports on the car. Once it load. For the roll cage, I did not put the roll cage in because it's sort of an imitation of what the car is in the video and what the guy owns, and obviously he doesn't have a roll cage in the car. But I did drop the weight off the car, and you can see it's already really light as for a Ferrari. And for the engines, I pretty much whacked every single part in because I went and decided to modify the engine instead of keeping the engine stock. Because all the guy did was literally change the exhaust system. As I think he explained in the video. So, but I'm going to go ahead and add everything on. It doesn't really add too much power. It just adds a tiny bit of power, so you get a bit of extra oomph out of it. It's not really necessary, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. So. And the camshafts, they give you more rev range to do crazy shit. So, valves, throw those in, and racing flywheel, which surprisingly doesn't have a racing flywheel. It uses a really stock flywheel. So I'm just gonna throw a racing flywheel in. So that's all the parts to the car. The car comes in at, I don't even know what the stats are. The car comes in at, no, I did not want to go test drive. Damn it, I was going to read the stats out because car stats come in. I think this is 1.2 tons. Like the 430 came in at 1.2 tons. I don't want to test drive. I want to toggle. So it comes in at 1.178 kilograms, a little bit under 1.2 tons, and it's 471 kilowatts and 574 newton meters. I don't know what it is in horsepower, but you guys can convert the numbers. So we're going to throw those parts in. Now here's the fun part, because tuning this car requires a lot of gear modification, because how Ferrari does the gearing is all done for speed, and I don't really want too much speed. I want drifting, so I want power. So front and rear tires 1.2 is always a nice numbers. You can see the gearing is just all over the place. It's just very linear, very nice, but I'm not going for it. I like having like really weird gears. I'm always a big fan of it. So the final drive ratio, I'm going to pull that right down to 3.8 because I start fiddling around with the other gears, so I get a longer gears. Longer power bands for the gears, but shorter gears, if you get what I mean. Like, it covers less. I don't know, I have more power range in that gear. So 3.6, 2.32, 1.65, 1.29. I don't really change the later gears because I don't really particularly need those gears. I rarely ever going up to 5, 6, 7. It's really not necessary unless you're sliding it at 300 k's an hour. But honestly, who's going to slide a car at 300 k's an hour? They're crazy, and they're probably going to die. So basically the last 3 gears I don't really change. This is the first 4 gears I change in the final drive ratio. Suspension, camber, I'm going to drop, put at -2 degrees, and neutral. I always like running neutral rear tire camber and having maximum -2 degrees front camber. rarely ever run those numbers. Anti-roll bars, 11, 16, something in the 11 range and something in the 16 range. There's just typical numbers I run. You can play around with it if you want, make it real good for yourself. Honestly, tuning is all about doing it yourself and experiencing what the car feels like. But obviously, you need to start somewhere. So 111 for the springs, soften them a little bit because they're a bit too stiff. And for the ride height, crank up the ride height for the rear. I want to keep the car level, so 12.0 and 12.1 for the rear. So just level it out, bring the car into level playing field instead of having the nose dip forward a little bit when you're locking up. Front and rear 4.1, bump stiffness 4.1. All numbers I really like using, and they're just my experience of using them have turned out really good drift cars. Aero, I had to drop it a lot because how Forza does its aero is aero doesn't really take into effect in real life. It doesn't really work until up to a certain speed because you don't have air moving fast enough. But in Forza it works all the time, which is sort of weird. So I had to crank that down, turn that down a little bit, 70, 50. To be honest, drifting aero is pretty much non-functional. It's just for aesthetic purposes. Braking force, braking balance, 40% and 150, so I can lock those rear tires. Some people do it to front so they can get the car to rotate, but personally I like those tires to be locked up, and I'm a very heavy handbrake user. So, here's the last thing, the diff. The diff is probably the most important when it comes to setting up. Personally, I run 80-60, nice numbers, allows me to get on the power without having it being too weird when it comes to getting on power, but so it doesn't kick all over the place, so I can still adjust the car as I'm getting on power, but it pretty much locks up most of the tires, so I can get the car to spin or to drift from it. So yeah, that's the setup for the car, and now we're going to take it to a public lobby, hopefully, if I got everything right. Yes, there you go. Explode the car. The Ferrari's got all the doors open and stuff. As obviously I left the engine stock, so I didn't change the engine, no nothing, so I can open it. But we're going to jump into a public lobby and see how that goes. So, we are at Long Beach. Great! Tight track! Everyone's gonna smash into each other. It's not too big of a lobby, and I'm getting a weak network connection from some areas. I'm in the back of the pack! Yay! I'm going to drive my 458 instead of drifting because I don't want to get stuck in the crashes of people. There are 11 players in this lobby, and some of them are AFK, so we'll see how this goes. And someone's already gone to the wall. See if I can do this Formula D style through Long Beach. Because it does include the hairpin, which is... Oh god, I didn't get enough power around that corner. Oh, people spun out. I'm not getting any points at all. I'm moving too slow. And I'm the only one drifting supercar as well. Everyone else is in their JDM cars and Mustangs and things. I'm going to corners at high speeds, and I'm just... people crashing into walls and not having any skill. Oh god, I got real close here. People won't slam into each other, hopefully. Falcon tires. Darren McNamara. Falcon tires. I don't know what car he drove, I think. Darren McNamara. I think he's out of Formula D. He hasn't been in competition. There's a lot of crash cars. I'm blocking up the road. Great, mate. Great. That's really helpful. That's the issue with Long Beach. Once you run 10 people in the session, you're not going to fit many people on track. Oh, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. You go ahead. I don't want to smash into you. There's people tap the wall there. Oh, God. Wow! Great courtesy, mate. Great courtesy. Just dive straight in. Come on. Dive straight in. Doesn't even give a fuck. Doesn't even give a flying fuck. Just dive straight in. And the guy's... almost done. Well, I've got my 3k points. I'll take it. Oh, apparently my... Oh, I got 4th. Okay. That was interesting. That was an interesting event. Long Beach is not the way to go when it comes to lobbies. I got 14k. Nice. I definitely say Long Beach is not the way to go when it comes to drift circuits. With a large lobby. I don't know why Turn 10 put that in, but oh well, they put it in, and I did spin out a lot and get hit a lot by people because that's how Long Beach is. It's just narrow. It's a challenging. Funny enough, it's actually a challenging circuit for Formula D in general. And Formula D this year was actually in the rain at Long Beach. Long Beach was raining when they were trying to qualify, and it was very slippery. Not good driving conditions. I got gifted credits, yay, from Turn 10. But that said, that's the 458 Italia. It will be on my file share, and if you want to download it and set up this 458 as a drift car, go bonkers. You can also apply this tune to the Forza, the 10th anniversary 458. You just apply all the parts as well, and you get the same similar results. Just do the same similar tune. You can apply this to regular 458 or the 10th anniversary 458. Which one do you have? That's the question. Do you have the Turn 10 458 because they gave it to you for free, or you have the regular 458 if you bought it? I use the regular 458 because the Turn 10 one sort of doesn't allow you to remove the finals and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed this 458 setup. Icekraks out.